How's it going, everybody? This is RaiderKnight, and today in this video, what we're going to do is we're going to be doing an AI battle with only small nations. So, everybody starts out as a one-province miner. We're going to see what happens. Obviously, this was suggested a while back, so I'm just doing it now. A good suggestion I got a little bit ago was doing only Mediterranean nations, and I think I'm going to do that for a future one. Because I think doing a all Mediterranean nations would be fairly interesting. Another one that I might do, but I'm not really sure because I did it a lot in my spare time, is only Europe. Whenever I do an only Europe scenario, it gets really boring. I'm just gonna say it now: Ukraine, Belarus, and essentially everybody next to Russia, they'll win every time. So a Europe only scenario really is not that interesting because it usually just goes down to whoever gets the most Russian land, and it's kind of boring, I'm not gonna lie. So I don't really know if I want to do that scenario or not. But I'm going to do this one today. Everybody is a one-province miner, so anything can happen. But obviously, Kazakhstan, Mongolia, China, Korea, these are some of the big ones to look out for. I mean, obviously, you can have some pretty big countries come out of North America, like Canada, and even America if they go quick enough. But I'm just not sure what's going to happen, so let's just speed it up. Let's go to, like, turn 10. I want to get a pretty clear depiction of who's winning early off. I think it's going to be Kazakhstan and Japan. So Kazakhstan, Japan, Mexico, USA, and Uzbekistan are some of your strongest nations at the start. Kazakhstan not doing the best though. They could get stuck in this two-front war and they could lose. Jamaica apparently wants to go to Alaska. That's a little bit cold for you, Jamaica, or Cuba. It's mostly Cuba. I don't know why they just don't name this area Cuba. But Jamaica apparently wants to go to Alaska. Okay. Whatever you say, Jamaica, you can go to Alaska. Dominican Republic went to Newfoundland, apparently. Greenland, I'm rooting for Greenland. They're gonna win the whole thing. I don't know who's gonna win actually, but I'm gonna speed it up a little bit more. It looks like Papua New Guinea is battling Australia down here. Vietnam has control of majority of China, and yeah, that's kind of where the game is going. Uzbekistan is taking over the Middle East, and a lot of interesting conflicts. So I want to speed it up to about turn 25, and we're going to see who's number one. Let me see. Number one nation: Russia, Egypt, Uzbekistan, Jamaica, and Gabon. And Mexico is another one tied for 5th place. So I'm going to look at all these countries and kind of see who's winning. Obviously, the Russian Empire is looking pretty good, but will they survive? They're kind of landlocked to an extent. They do not have a lot of sea territory unless you count the north, but that's going to be pretty difficult for them to really expand quickly, especially with Uzbekistan. Uzbekistan posing such a threat down here. They might win the whole thing. Uzbekistan might. Obviously, you have Jamaica with their igloos and everything. I just can't even understand why Jamaica is settling Alaska of all places, but I'm happy with it. Mexico doing alright, and obviously Gabon doing pretty good in Africa, but they're probably going to get taken out in a two-front war by Egypt and South Africa. And that is kind of your game at the moment. Obviously Vietnam as well. So let's speed it up to about turn 35-ish, maybe. I'm not sure. I'm not really sure where this game is going to go, to be completely honest. But I think it's going in Russia's direction or Uzbekistan's direction. at the moment. So I might speed it up a little bit more. Not really too much happened. I'm going to go to turn 40. Who's number 1? You got Russia, Uzbekistan. Russia has a massive lead now. Egypt, Mexico, and Vietnam. Jamaica a close in 6th place. So this is now a very interesting map. You have Australia with New Zealand with a massive empire. You have the Russians, who have definitely gained a lot of sea territory. They're going to do a lot better now. Possibly pushing back Uzbekistan, who's in a multiple front war. But Uzbekistan might still win. It really just depends. Obviously, Egypt is trying to take Africa, but it's kind of just staling out. I don't think any of those countries really will do that good. Mexico doing alright. They might take over all of the New World if they battle a little bit quicker, but they are battling the OP Dominican Republic, so Mexico has to be careful about that. Ghana is doing it pretty good. I think that's how you say it. I'm not sure. They're doing pretty good, but they have to pick up the pace. Obviously, the USA is about done for. They're going to get taken over by Jamaica. And Jamaica should honestly be attacking Mexico, but apparently they have not figured out how to do that yet because they're too busy settling Alaska for absolutely no reason. But yeah, that's kind of where our game is at the moment. Obviously, Portugal still around, and Britain still around, and our OP Greenland is still around. Greenland thought it would be funny to get revenge on Denmark, and they colonized Denmark. So yeah, that's a little bit of a heads up for people living in Denmark. You might want to just give Greenland freedom, or they're going to colonize you, apparently. Jeez, Greenland is savage today. Let's see what happens. Let's go to turn 50. I think it's going to be... I'm kind of rooting for Greenland, Jamaica, and Uzbekistan, but I think it's going to be Russia or Jamaica who wins the whole thing. I went to turn 51, but that's fine. Russia, Egypt, Uzbekistan, Jamaica, Argentina. So that's kind of where the game is going at the moment. I'm going to speed it up a lot from this point, just because I really want to see what happens, and it's going to take a while to process. So I'm going to speed it up a lot. So I sped it up a ton, and the winner definitely looks to be Jamaica or Egypt, because they both pretty much teamed up. Actually, everybody teamed up to really defeat Russia. So currently the Moscow capital is in the hands of Jamaica. So technically they will get this land over here in southern Asia. So I'm giving it the game to Jamaica if they can win this, which they should be able to. Egypt is going to be stalled out by New Zealand. I'm going to speed it up a lot here, and I'll just commentate over kind of what happens, I guess. Obviously, New Zealand has been kicked out of mainland Asia. Not New Zealand. Jamaica is taking over a lot of Europe and kind of going into the Middle East a little bit. But it's going to take them a little bit to really win this battle. Currently, the winner is in Egypt's favor, so I'm not sure who's going to win this, to be completely honest. It might be Jamaica, but it could be Egypt also. Jamaica going to take over all of Russia, most likely. Or at least that's what it looks like from the looks of it. Australia or New Zealand is slowing down. Egypt quite a bit. Egypt going into Europe. Currently the winner is Jamaica. But it's still pretty close. It's anybody's game at the moment. This is a little bit different though. Jamaica is not really pushing too much at the moment. I'm not sure if that means Jamaica's going to lose or not, but definitely it looks like Jamaica's not doing as good as they were doing. I think it is in Egypt's favor at the moment. Yes, it is. Egypt might win the whole game, and I'm not really sure. Whoever wins, essentially, in the old world, I'm just going to give him the win right off the bat, because that kind of decides the whole game at that point. It is slowing down a little bit, and I think that's kind of the end of it. Egypt has a massive advantage over Jamaica. I think that's kind of where you want to call the game right there. Yeah, that's kind of where the game is going. It looks like Egypt's going to win the whole thing. But I'll see you all in the next one, and peace.
Thank you.